Hello, everyone. My name is Milan Sharma, and I have some news to share with you. So I'm a little bit late on this, but a couple of days ago, you saw that the CIA claimed that they were very favorably saw that the Russian government favored Trump and took actions in favor of Donald Trump to win the election. Now, obviously, this is false. There's no evidence whatsoever that that the Russian government has even used any files or hacking techniques to help Donald Trump win the election in 2016. The Washington Post stated, "It is the assessment of the intelligence community that Russia's goal here was to favor one candidate over the other to help Trump get elected." A senior U.S. official briefed on an intelligence presentation made to U.S. senators told the Washington Post. That's the consensus view. So, like anybody else, I would look up what does consensus mean? And it means a majority of opinion. So, this is a U.S. official's opinion. The CIA has lied constantly over and over. They provide no evidence whatsoever that Russia did anything. In fact, the CIA has lied about the torture program after it was ineffective. They lied about it being ineffective. They also lied about how many civilians have died from drone strikes in the Middle East. This is all from the Intercept article. And they lied about, they even told Bush that the weapons of mass destruction was a slam dunk, even though there was actually no weapons of mass destruction even found in Iraq. And all these little people may say, "Oh, these are just little lies here and there," but Iraq War cost 1 million lives. Now, people say, "No, it wasn't 1 million," but altogether, not including the United States, including other civilians, it costs 1 million lives. National intelligence. Yeah, you're right. True, but there's many. I'm using a Periscope on here as well. That's why I look down my phone. Yes, that's true, but many people, like the New York Times and Washington Post and others, are misinterpreting that. That's what I'm trying to say. But that's a good point. So, again, hundreds of thousands were wounded. According to a Brown University study, over $4 trillion was spent on the quote-unquote war against terrorism, and it has not helped Americans at all whatsoever. I can go on and on about that. But again, the CIA said that experts doubt North Korea. No, the CIA said that North Korea hacked Big Sony, but experts had doubt that they even hacked Sony. So these are all just claims made by the CIA, and they've just been a mouthpiece for the administration that's in office right now. This is a quote from The Intercept. "Most importantly of all, the most serious claim is in accusing a nuclear-armed power of directly and deliberately interfering in the U.S. election in order to help the winning candidate is about as serious a claim as you can get. The more important it is to demand evidence before believing it. That's very important. Don't believe anything until you have evidence. WikiLeaks had evidence that Clinton was corrupt. They had evidence that Clinton took money from Qatar, that Bill Clinton took money from Qatar, $1 million gift from Qatar that was funding ISIS. She acknowledged that they were funding ISIS, but they said nothing about it whatsoever. That is very, very important to note. They had evidence that Podesta and Neera Tanden met with New York Times reporters to edit and review articles. There's evidence of that in the WikiLeaks. These are authentic emails. And you see Donna Brazile doesn't refute these articles at all whatsoever. They don't refute any of these articles. They just say, "Oh, it's Russia, it's Russia." Fine, even if it's Russia, these articles are true. They're not false, these emails. And Julian Assange has been detained for over 6 years now. The UN has called on on Britain to release him, and they haven't yet. So, and the country that's protecting him, the Ecuadorian president just won the Human Rights Award of the Human Rights Award. He won that, not the United States. And you might wonder, how does the United States not win the Human Rights Award? If we're the most powerful country in the world, we should be setting a good standard for the rest of America, right? Well, we have a torture program in Guantanamo Bay that holds suspected terrorists in there without a trial for years, indefinitely, which means years upon years upon years, that Obama promised would shut down, but he never has. And we've Amy Goodman, a reporter and journalist for for Democracy Now!, was almost jailed for reporting the North Dakota protests, for inciting a riot, which was wasn't even reported at all. Luckily, the judge struck it down and said there was no case for it. And this is a basic right. So, again, whistleblowers were, under President Obama, the most whistleblowers and leakers were prosecuted under the Obama administration, any other administration. Illegal immigrants and other illegal immigrants were deported the most by President Obama. So Obama is not a so-called progressive leader. He's somewhat centrist, believe it or not. So again, the Iraqis. U.S. says Hussein intensifies quest for A-bomb parts. Again, this is a false narrative right here from the New York Times in the past. And on September 8th, 2002. This is from The Intercept. An important part of this story, quite clearly, is interagency feuding between, at the very least, the CIA and FBI. Recall that the top of the CIA was firmly behind Clinton and vehemently against Trump, while at least some powerful factions within the FBI had the opposite position, because obviously the FBI director, James Comey, was a Republican. So he'd obviously been a little bit biased toward Republicans. Former acting CIA director Michael Morrell not only endorsed Clinton in the New York Times, but claimed that Mr. Putin had recruited Mr. Trump as unwitting agent of Russian Federation. Putin actually called, when Clinton said that Putin didn't have a soul, Putin said that Clinton didn't have a brain. So you can see the conflicts that are going on there. Meanwhile, key factions in the FBI were furious that Hillary Clinton was not criminally charged for handling of classified information. Obviously, she violated the Freedom of Information Act when she put emails on an insecure, unencrypted private server, which in turn was most likely hacked by China, by Russia, by Iran, etc., according to a department official or a U.S. official. So, I mean, this was this was top secret military information as well. This was top secret military information. She also violated the Freedom of Information Act because there's a report on this. I forget the source. She actually told her aide Uma Abedin to put documents in a burn bag. We don't know what those documents were. We don't know what happened. We don't know what the documents were. If they're top secret, if they weren't top secret, we have no idea whatsoever. Pressuring the FBI director James Comey into writing a letter that was pretty clearly harmful to Clinton about further investigating the case, and seemed to be improperly communicating with close Trump ally Rudy Giuliani. And while we are now being treated to anonymous leaks about how the CIA believes Putin helped Trump, recall the FBI just weeks ago was shoveling anonymous claims to the New York Times that had the opposite goal. So the FBI found no distinguishing clear links between Russia and Donald Trump. The FBI, that was in August 31st, 2016. So the CIA and Russia both have separate viewpoints. Number 4, even just within the leaks of the last 24 hours, there are multiple grounds of confusion, contradictions, and uncertainty. Obviously, like the New York Times reporting, the FBI found no clear link. The CIA did. They were both distinguishing. So, again, I go on to tweet and say the CIA has lied about the effectiveness of the torture program and WMDs in Iraq. Mainstream media expects me to believe them about Russia. Again, the mainstream media has been horrible about WikiLeaks. In fact, Hillary Clinton's blaming her loss in the election on fake news, and CNN actually said that it was illegal for Americans to look at WikiLeaks, which is not true. You can go to their website, wikileaks.org, and you can look at anything you want on there. So I'm going to end this YouTube segment so you can stay on there. Thanks for watching this. You can look at my Periscope as well, and you can look at anything else you'd like, my past videos, and why this is a very important issue. Thanks for listening to me. My name is Milind Sharma. Follow me on SHARMAKMILAN. The link will be below. You can follow me on Twitter for any more updates. Thanks for listening.